Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the Calypso Cigar Review Podcast.
That's a 3 and a 2.
It is a 3 and a 2.
Side.
Yes. 32.
32. There you go.
In Espanol.
So now you have to start doing it.
Sábado. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
So, as always, at the lovely Calypso Shop and Lounge in Richardson,
Cigar shop. It's actually a cigar shop.
It's the second week in a row. Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas.
Yes.
And
I'm Randy Rankin.
And I am Brandon Luna, your co-host. And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about today.
Including cigars.
Yes. That's about it, really.
That's
the end of our show. So today we'll be reviewing something I haven't even heard about prior to seeing it a couple of weeks ago. Project 805 by Ventura Cigars. And this cigar is in a torpedo size. And
it's actually called a figurado.
It's a figurado. Sorry, a 6.25 by 52. And this is the Andulo exclusive tobacco in the 805, bound in a balanced blend of the finest Dominican leaf for an incredibly aromatic and complex smoke. Hand-finished boxes, each one is unique. It's a wrapper of Corojo shade, binder of Dominican Allure. Ooh, I like Allure. And the filler is Dominican blend plus Andulo, or Anduyo.
Yeah, I think it's Anduyo.
Anduyo. So this is unique. It sounds totally unique.
Yeah,
I haven't had.
And look up the Anduyo process, everybody, because I was reading, and I couldn't find a good enough version to print that we would be able to read in this dark lounge that we have here. But look up that process. It's a very interesting process. It goes back like 500-600 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What does it involve?
Does
it involve rolling
tobaccos and the way they kind of age the tobaccos?
Oh, I thought it involved rolling on the breasts.
And it's spelled
Virgin.
Andulo.
Anduyo.
This Project 805 is starting to get a lot of publicity. And the rep was in today and told me that it is doing really well for him. Cold draw is wide open. They call it a figurado, but it is not a figurado. It is a torpedo.
It looks like it's a torpedo.
Yeah.
A figurado would be closed on both ends,
yeah,
traditionally.
Exactly.
So to me, this is a torpedo, but okay. And it's got a nice band on it. It's a cool looking marketing on the band there.
Yeah.
It's got a second band with the Anduyo logo on it, and it's like a kind of a harshly cut band. Looks kind of jagged and raw.
Yeah.
Kind of cool looking. The actual cigar itself it's got a nice sheen to it. It's a beautiful looking wrapper on it. Very minimal veins.
Mm-hmm.
Got kind of a barnyardy, tobacco-y smell to it.
A little hint of spice.
Yeah. Ooh, so when you smell just the wrapper, it's a little barnyardy to me. But if you get down at the foot, it's spicy.
Yeah. Almost a little chili powder.
Yeah. Like right in the man. It almost made me sneeze. Like right in the nose there. Yeah. So there's a little chili to it, a little spice. I'm looking forward to that. I like spice in my cigars, just like I like spice in life.
Cigars are the spice of life.
One of them, yes, along with pepper and cayenne, and other things as well. I'm going to use my newfangled.
Oh, you're going to use your new lighter.
My newfangled lighter that I just unearthed.
Too cool for the Alec Bradley Bunsen burner thing.
Yeah, too cool for that. Too cool for school, buddy. And soon I'll be using my Cedar Reserve spills that I won.
How cool is that?
It is going to be cool. It's going to be
you're just winning stuff all over the place.
I know. It's like a good karma time for me.
I need to buy a lottery ticket during the break.
I know, right?
Because the Powerball is like $300 million or something.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I just might do that. Not a bad idea.
And you heard it right here. We will split between the two of us if we win.
Not if I buy the ticket.
60 to 40.
60
right down the middle.
Whatever. Keep those fantasies alive.
Dude, 300-something million. I'll take the 40.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's a lot.
You got a family.
I do have a family.
I'll let you help.
You get 10.
Not if we're going halves on the ticket.
Well, yeah, that's different.
It's a $2 ticket. We throw in $1 a piece. Why not? Can't win if you don't play. It's got a nice taste.
You know what this reminds me of? Just on the first draw.
I need to read.
And tell me if you get this, but my first draw on this it reminded me of a Altadis cigar. Altadis, whatever.
Or Altadis.
Tomato, potato. It reminds me of the Trinidad Paradox.
Okay, I could see
right
that.
off the start.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good. It's not a bad thing.
I like that cigar.
I like that cigar, but it's just kind of tobacco-y, a little bit of spice in the background, not a lot, else going on.
It has that trying to think of a cigar we did a few weeks ago that little almost citrusy taste.
Yeah.
On the tongue.
Oh, on the lips, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the lips, it's a little salty / citrusy.
Mm-hmm.
Which
almost like if you put a little salt on an orange. You ever done that? Yeah.
Yep. It's like a salted lime, but not citrus, not that kind of citrus. It's more of an orangey citrus than a.
Right.
Yeah.
So far, so good. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, so far, so good. So we're just, it's nice, beautiful burn. A burn line's perfect on that.
Mm-hmm.
We both use a soft flame today.
Yes, we did. I have this one little corner that doesn't want to catch.
Now, you cut yours a lot more than I did, but I used my Cuban Crafter's cutter that has the dot
proof.
for so it's like supposed to be perfect for it. And my draw is perfect on this. It's not.
No, I need to line out this one
you need to
corner
line, okay.
didn't light, and I don't want to use the. I don't want to zero in on it.
Gotcha.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's tasty.
Mm-hmm. So far, so good.
Yeah. That's the first cigar I've had in a while, so.
Ventura Cigars have been around since '06.
Mm-hmm.
They do the Pure Sanger, which not one of my favorites, but it's a good cigar. Pedro likes it a lot.
And, yeah, there's an interesting story about that cigar. I know it was blended by someone as their personal favorite cigar, and so that's kind of one of those.
I've got another one called the Psycho 7, which was, I believe, blended by what's his name from Davidoff? Kellner? What's his name?
I know what you're talking about, but I'm looking up Ventura Cigars.
Okay.
So let's see here.
Whoever the Davidoff guy is did the Psycho 7 for him.
The New Old Guys, Ventura Company. So let's see here. There's a story here on Cigar Aficionado about Ventura Cigars. And this, I'm going to read verbatim here from Cigar Aficionado's site.
Okay.
While the Plasencias have no ownership in Ventura, General Manager Patrick Hurd said it's truly a partnership. Cesar described how his family's long history in cigars and cigar shops means the stakes are high on this venture. We're careful, he said. I have a lot more to lose if I don't bring the right things to tobacconists.
True.
So that's page 1.
Very true.
So it is it's a Plasencia is
Reserve
part of
organic,
the that's part of the Ventura line as well.
Right.
And they have the Pure Sangra.
Psycho 7.
Psycho 7. I've never even heard of that.
Matt and I tried it, but we're going to try another one when he comes. He's going to bring us some next week. It was right in the middle of summer, and who knows how long it had been in his car, so we'll give it one more shot. But,
Okay.
I'm liking this so far.
Yep. Okay, here's the little story about the Pure Sangra. Let's see here. He is known, Central American favorite. Every year, Nestor and I would get together, said Caesar. On the third day of a long trip while smoking cigars, Cesar noticed the cigar sticking out of his shirt pocket of Nestor Palencia Sr.'s. I asked for one of those, and he said he smoked it. I asked for one of those. He said he smoked it and enjoyed it. That's what I want, he said. That blend became Pure Sangra. So I guess it was one of his Nestor Palencia's Sr.'s personal
blend.
He blended it for himself, and they wanted to make that into a cigar, so that became the Pure Sangra, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's a very earthy cigar, if you like that type, and just full of spice. So, yeah, it's always neat when you hear about people putting their own personal blends out. There's that story as well with that Liga Privada number 9.
Liga
with it being being blended for
and the undercrown.
Yeah, it was blended by the people who
blenders,
actually rolled by the
they
rollers.
Were smoking too many Ligas, so
that's a cool story.
That's a cool story. And I had forgotten that story till Kirk mentioned it on his review the other day. But
Kirk over at Poolside Cigar Reviews.
Right. So we're going to try to have him on as a guest reviewer soon.
That'd
be cool.
Yep. So as always, flying off the seat of our pants here. So
yes. So major tobacco news.
Yeah, some interesting tobacco news.
On my birthday, September 7th, Alec Bradley got robbed.
Yep. Not physically, like
Well, there's
Alan
not a person
Rubin.
named.
He didn't get robbed. Like he wasn't robbed at gunpoint or anything like that.
Four
but
people. Well, you got the story there.
The company, a couple of months ago, after making history by sending the first cigars into space, Alec Bradley is once again making the headlines. This time through their Florida-based company. This time, though, it's drawing attention not for unique public stunt, but publicity stunt. I can't even talk today. This time, it's not making news for the unique publicity stunt, but for a crime. Cigar Aficionado reported yesterday that burglars recently stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from Alec Bradley's humidified storage facility in Hollywood, Florida.
Jeez.
The story of how they broke in and made off without getting caught sounds like the plot of a heist movie.
And they cut through the roof, I think.
They cut through the roof of the building using high-powered saws, says Alan Rubin, owner of Alec Bradley, and gained access to a humidified warehouse using forklifts. They moved cases of cigars out of the stolen truck and made away with merchandise worth approximately $300,000 at wholesale and nearly $600,000 at the retail level.
Right.
Break-in occurred on the morning of September 7th, a Saturday, which initially kept the incident quiet during the search for criminals who remained at large. We don't want to say anything because it is an ongoing investigation. He did, however, change his mind when he heard the people in the Northwest U.S. being approached with offers for buying Alec Bradley, Northeast, for offers to buy Alec Bradley cigars at a steep discount.
Yeah. So people be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
If somebody's selling you 5 Prensado Churchills for $10, there's a red flag.
Yep, the authorities listed the stolen cigars include Prensado, Nicapuro, Black Market, appropriate. Black Market's now on the black market.
It is on the black market.
And the Alec Bradley, Connecticut. Wow. And this news story...
so Tempest is safe.
Yeah, so this news story came from StogieGuys.com, which I got to give them a shout-out if I'm going to read from their site.
Right.
So check out Stogie Guys for the full story on that Alec Bradley robbery.
Well, thank God it wasn't Mundial, because we've got an event coming up where we're supposed to be debuting the Mundial. Yeah, wow.
That's just, man, that's weird. And, you got to wonder what they're going to try and do with them. If they're just going to try and sell them as Alec Bradley. My first thought when I heard about this was that they were going to take all the bands off and put fake Cuban bands and try and sell them as Cubans.
That makes sense. That was kind of
maybe
what I
with
thought.
the Connecticut. But, I mean, for the other ones with the darker, Maduros and stuff, you can't really pass those off as Cubans. No. I guess you could to guys on a cruise ship or something.
Well, people like Cubans every day that aren't Cubans, so, But, man, that just blows.
It does, and it's going to cause...
And it has to have some sort of an inside job, just in my own speculation, I would think, and I'm sure who knows what they're looking at.
Oh, yeah, and they showed...
Somebody obviously knew where it was.
There's video of it, too, and the guy was looking for specific, box numbers and stuff like that. He was going through the pallets and looking for certain pallets and, ignoring others. So they knew what they were looking for. Yep. It's definitely an inside job. And there is one guy in the video, if you look at the video, that's not wearing gloves, and they have his fingerprints. So hopefully that guy just done something stupid somewhere else, and they'll
catch that bozo.
Because all that's going to do is raise the price of cigars for
they got to recoup this $300,000.
Yeah. So now they'll have the Prensado Super Duper Edition in a gold tubo that's $300,000 for one.
Get it all back in one stick.
Right.
Man, who has the balls to pull that off? As a kid, I used to read Jesse James stuff.
Brad Pitt and what's his name? George Clooney.
George Clooney and Matt Damon. As a kid, I used to read Jesse James stuff all the time, and I always thought that if I'd lived back then, that might have been kind of cool. Sort of killing people, obviously, but not the excitement and everything. But it was easier back then. Who has the balls to do that today? I mean, you're going to get caught if you rob something of any magnitude. You're going to get caught.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I mean, there's so many ways to get caught nowadays. It's not like, it's different from robbing someone off their wallet off the street. But even then, there's cameras everywhere. There's so many ways that can look, get information from that incident. Yeah. And, it's just look
at the Boston bombing. I mean, they had those guys by the end of the day, because of street cameras. So, it doesn't pay to try that kind of thing, because you're talking, that's $300,000. That's a lot.
That is a lot of merchandise to move, too. I mean, that's been happening weird. People have been stealing some weird stuff, though. You remember hearing about the maple syrup thing in Canada? Stole like $500,000 worth of maple syrup. What the hell do you do with that?
You're not going to eat that many pancakes.
No, you're not going to eat that many pancakes. I wouldn't imagine there's a big black market for maple syrup
from Canada.
It's not like you stole stuff that's going to make you crystal meth or something. You stole maple syrup. I mean, what the hell are you doing besides having I'm going to put it all in a pool and have a party.
For the pancake social on Sunday.
Exactly, right. I couldn't imagine what the hell, if some guy at some bar is, automatically now he's having maple syrup wrestling, then maybe that might be your guy. But other than that, I can't think of what the hell you would use that much.
Maple syrup wrestling.
Well, they have like Jello wrestling and stuff. And why not? That just
that'd be so sticky.
It would be. I just couldn't imagine.
Would you wrestle Jennifer Aniston in
maple syrup? Hell yeah, I would.
Yeah, me too.
Kidding me?
Me too.
I would wrestle most people in maple syrup because maple syrup's delicious.
I hate being sticky. That would drive me crazy. But Jennifer Aniston or somebody like that would be.
It'd be okay to get sticky for her.
Yeah, for a little while. But I'd be ready for it to be over so I could run and go take a bath.
Get it out of the nether regions. Yeah.
This is tasty.
It is tasty. It's got a lot of good flavor to it. It's mostly a light. It's pretty mild. I mean, to me, it's like
it's not overwhelming strong.
It's not overwhelmingly strong. It's mild with a little bit of
about 4.5 or something
out of a 10.
Yeah.
As far as the strength aspect of it, the flavor side of it, it's still got a little bit of that citrusy tinge to it. Mostly on the retrohale, I'm getting a lot of that.
A hint of that chili powder. Still,
a little bit of. Let me see what else I get here. Hold on. The retrohale is just basically that chili powder and that little bit of hay. Not a lot of hay, just like a hint of it.
My second puff, I got a little hay, but I haven't had any hay since.
Yeah, I'm still getting a little bit of hay, but it's like a distance offshoot. It's like someone was mowing down the street and it kind of wind blew and you get a little bit of that smell. That's like what it is, really.
Okay.
Not a lot. It's not overwhelming.
Makes sense.
Overwhelming hay kind of turns me off, but this is okay. Yeah.
So what have you been doing this week?
A lot of nothing, man. Getting over. I was sick, so
Hey, you feeling better?
Getting over being sick. Yeah, I'm fine now. On the antibiotics, so just still got a day left on that.
Okay.
So
you're not contagious though.
No, I'm not contagious. No. I did lick your glass though, just 'cause I usually do that.
You do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's just me. I'm a glass licker. But
which is better than being an ass.
Exactly. Wow. Really? Yeah. You're going boldly. We're probably a few guys
decided I would go blue first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's holding on to ash nice. I mean, I'm through most of the first third and still holding on to ash. The burn line was razor sharp. It's a little off.
It's a little jagged now, but it'll probably correct itself.
But that's a good quality ash, though. I mean, it's holding on. No signs of any kind of splintering or anything. It's a tight ash.
It's got a very good price point too. I think it's between $6.25 and $7.25.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. At least here in Texas.
Yeah.
For states that have higher taxes, you'll pay a little more.
It's turned a little sideways on me.
That is.
See that?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it wants to fall, but I'm not going to let it. All right, so we're going to take a little break here at the end of the first third on this particular.
That was a short first
cigar.
third.
No, it's not. It's 18 minutes.
Oh, okay.
With the Project 805?
Yep.
I almost want to say 808. Looks like an 8.
805.
It's dark in here.
Yeah.
The Project 805 Andullo. We'll be right back.
Car 55, this is dispatch. We have a 211 in progress in your area. Please respond.
Dispatch, this is Car 55. We are in the vicinity and on our way. Did you say this was a 211?
Yes, 211, robbery in progress.
211. That reminds me of that great cigar by Esteban Carreras, the 211. Man, I could go for one of those right now.
Okay, whatever. We have a farmer in the area whose goats are getting stolen. And this is where it gets weird, saying it's a chupacabra.
A chupacabra? Are you kidding me? Man, that's another great cigar by Esteban Carreras.
Whoa, hold on now. Let's keep our focus here. I mean, this guy called in a 187 on his prize-winning goat, Mary.
187? You're killing me here. Yet another great cigar by Esteban Carreras. I just think this guy sounds crazy.
Yeah, you might just want to call in a 5150 and call it a day. You know what I mean?
5150. That's it. You call a paddy wagon. I'm turning around and going to the Calypso Cigar Shop in Richardson for an Esteban Carreras cigar.
Hey, that sounds great. Can I join you?
Absolutely.
Esteban Carreras cigars. It'd be a crime not to smoke them. All right, everybody, we're back for the second third of the Project 805 Andullo. Sounds like andouille. I feel like I'm talking about andouille sausage or something.
Think about andouille chores.
Andouille chos. Yo. So what you thinking so far on the second third here?
I'm still getting that spicy thing on the tongue, but it's not real strong. A cigar by any means, but it does just have a lot of spicy flavor. Kind of a mild spice.
Having to suck it back to life here. It's sitting a little too long.
We got it going. It's nice and orange. God, what a noob. What did you do? Did you swallow some?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ow.
We had a customer one time that was...
Don't do that.
It was...
Oh, whiskey.
He still had some smoke in his mouth, and he took a sip of root beer.
Oh.
I thought I was witnessing a guy die. He was just almost rolling on the floor, and tears pouring down his face.
I don't do that. You do that more than me, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, that wasn't me that did that. Now, what happens to me is sometimes I'll hold my cigar and I'll talk, and the smoke will just like a vacuum just run right into my mouth and I don't realize it. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's because we're constantly having to. Yeah, it's because we're doing radio.
yeah,
That's why.
That's it.
So look what I'm doing. I'm putting my cigar on this cool thing.
What is that cool thing?
I will tell you what this cool thing is in a second.
What could this contraption be?
Why, it is the Perfecto Cigar Holder.
Nice. You're going to have to take a picture of that.
I will take a picture of that, yeah, and it'll
Yeah.
be on the podcast. So this was something that I contacted the Perfecto Cigar Holder and had them send us a couple samples because I think this is kind of a neat little deal.
It's great for the golf cart.
Yeah, great for the golf cart. It's basically a clamp with a little holder on it,
Little
on
channel,
the top. Little,
yeah.
little channel on the top where you can lay your cigar down. So if you're, out there golfing, or if you're working in the shop, or
Working
you're
in the
out
yard.
doing yard work,
Yeah.
you can clamp this onto anything, any flat surface. Put your cigar on there. Go do what you need to do. Come back, pick it up, smoke your cigar. You're good to go. You can double as a little small ashtray, clean it out real quick, and put it up,
Yeah.
and you're good to go.
Very cool.
Yeah, one of those neat little innovative things that you think, why didn't I think of that?
Right. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's one of those cool deals. So that's just
I
something
think
neat.
they
that,
retail for $19.95, so it's
yeah.
not a bad deal.
not a bad deal for something that you can take with you wherever you go. Keep it in your golf bag, and if you're out there, hitting the batting cages or whatever, you can probably clip somewhere there or two, and
Yeah.
go for it.
Now, is there any possibility we get to talk to the inventor of this thing?
Quite possibly, sir.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Maybe
And
that'll happen
Maybe
in the
that
last
will,
part of the show.
In the last part of the show. And
You
maybe,
never know
and-
on the Calypso Cigar Review
You never
podcast. So many surprises.
and there could be another surprise in that third segment.
There
as
could
well.
be. Jennifer Aniston could walk in covered in maple syrup and say, "Wrestle me."
All right. No, but we could be having something very special coming in from the third segment of this episode.
What's that?
People are just going to have to stay tuned and listen.
I don't even know what that is.
That was called a tease.
I'm totally surprised.
Like our fake,
Yeah,
our
Our-
fake,
yeah,
our fake shock.
enthusiasms.
What is that?
Enthusiasms, yeah. So, way cool. It's just one of those neat little things that cigar accessories are still coming out. There's definitely a cigar boom, so there's a plenty of place in the marketplace for new things coming out. All kinds of new lighters and cutters and
Yeah.
different doohickeys, doohotchis.
Daddy, dude.
Yeah, whatever you want to use.
Dumaflachis.
Dumaflachis. There you
That's
go.
it.
That was the
That's
word
what
I
I
was
was
looking for, yeah. That come out, and this is one of them. That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
So, so we'll be talking to him possibly in the last third of the show. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
You never know.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be. So now it's time for that
Is it
dreaded
that
time of the
Is
day.
it that time?
That dreaded time of the day.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, no.
It's time for the Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
All right, this week's Creature Feature was a doozy. We went a little different this week. We didn't go straight up creature movie. We went comedy creature movie. Hell,
Kind
baby.
of a creature. Yeah, hell, baby.
It was a creature.
Yeah.
It's a live kind of creature thing. But
You don't see it till like the very end, though.
no, you don't. Yeah, but there's a lot of other
But a
stuff
lot of
going
stuff
on.
building up to it.
The haunted house vibe
had
going on.
Only disappointment was that the very pretty and talented Leslie Bibb was pregnant throughout the whole movie, so, didn't get to look at her in the way I like to look at her.
What was she in? I'm trying.
Midnight Meat Train. Did you ever see
to,
that?
yeah, I like that flick. That was a cool flick. Yeah.
And she's been in some other stuff. I've seen her in a bunch of things.
Yep.
She's kind of not A-list, but not B-list.
She's pretty. She's very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, very pretty girl.
So this movie was directed by Thomas Lennon, who was the priest, one of the priests in the movie, who's been around a long time. He's a comedy guy. Was on Reno 911. Writes a lot of stuff in
Was
Hollywood.
he the dark-haired priest? Or
He
the
was
other?
They were both dark-haired. He was the one that died.
Okay. He was also on that show with Jamie Gertz and the fat guy from Full Monty. What was that called? Still Standing? The show lasted like 7 or 8 years. He was just like his next-door neighbor that was
Yep.
a perv.
Yeah, he's been in a ton. So the main stars of the movie, though, were Rob Corddry, Leslie Bibb. You had Keegan Michael Key, who was Fresnel. How do you say his name?
Fernell.
Fresnel. There you go,
Yeah.
Fresnel. And then you had a couple of sub characters. The two fathers. One was Robert Ben Garant, who was the other director of the movie,
Right.
and Thomas Lennon. They both directed and wrote the movie together.
Adrian Brody had a little tiny part in it.
Michael Ian Black.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a cool flick. Paul Shearer.
Well, wouldn't say it's a cool flick. It's got a cool cast.
Rika Lindholm, who's a comedian. She's a stand-up comedian. Full frontal nudity in this movie.
Full frontal nudity.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
not even just full frontal, full back too. Everything
Yeah.
is like completely nude
Yep.
in this movie, which
Yep.
was pretty odd.
Yeah, that helped.
It was, I just
No, the
didn't
boob
expect
factor
it.
was fine in
Yeah.
this movie. There were some boobs. So why don't you give the plot, Brandon?
So the plot of Hell Baby is Rob Corddry and Lisa Bibb are a couple, and they're moving into a Leslie Bibb, are a couple, and they're moving into a rundown section of New Orleans. They bought this house that's beautiful, could be a beautiful house. It was a piece of crap that they're going to restore, and they bought it for, the paltry price of $300 and something thousand. Ends up being an extremely haunted murder house.
It's a murder house, demon-filled house. The house is basically possessed, and she's pregnant. She's about 8 months pregnant when they move in.
With twins.
Yep. And
the house basically, in essence, possesses her and produces
takes over
a spawn of Satan.
Right. And it's satire, which I love. I love satire, but I love unforced satire. Steve Carell had a great line, and I applied it to this movie, and this movie fails in this regard. For a great comedy, especially satire, the actors or the actual characters they need to be as though they're not in a comedy. They need to not know that they're in a comedy, and the comedy comes through that way. Think Leslie Nielsen. He had no idea he was in a comedy, and that's what made him funny. This movie had none of that. They knew they were in a comedy, and they kept constantly trying to be satire-ish. And
yeah, I didn't really see it as a satire, though. I just saw it as a comedy horror movie.
Yeah, I thought they were trying to be ironic in a lot of ways. And the priests, they're smoking and going to strip clubs. You know, and it seemed a little forced. But don't get me wrong, the priests steal the movie. They are funny.
Yeah, they are funny.
There were some funny parts. The po' boy sandwich bit got a little old, but at first it was really funny.
Yeah.
And I did have a few laugh out loud moments, so I'm not going to rip the movie too much.
Yeah.
It just took me a while to get into the rhythm of their comedy because it seemed so forced at the beginning.
Yeah, it's very akin to Reno 911
Yeah.
and those type of shows, if you like that type of stuff. I mean,
like Super Troopers, it just seems natural in their comedy, and this just seemed a lot more forced.
Yep, there's a lot. I mean, there's a ton of comedians in this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like everybody who's in comedy right now is in this movie. David Wan was in it, Michael Ian Black, Rob Hubble, Paul Shearer. They both play cops. They come over and just accuse him of everything, and just they were pretty funny.
The cops had some funny moments, and when you had the cops and the priests together, that was a pretty good mixture.
Yeah, it was.
And
you had the creepy naked old lady. What
God,
the hell was
gross.
that? That was so gross. It was so gross.
And so Fernell is their next door neighbor who basically lives there.
Yeah.
And he just pops up at random moments, and he's this energetic, almost effeminate, not gay. I never got a gay vibe from him, but he did have a feminine quality to him.
Yeah.
And he just shows up, scares the crap out of him because he just somebody be taking a shower and it's him, and it's just funny.
They turn
stuff.
around, he's standing there,
Right.
like real close, and they're screaming, and you're like, "Oh man, you scared the hell out of me!"
Right.
But it's just that's all he's there for. He's there really as a scare tactic. It's like
Right.
we need to have more scares in the movie. Let's have him just pop in and scare everybody
Right.
every once in a while.
Right.
And he's scaring a really really pregnant lady
Yes,
a lot.
a lot.
know.
And so she starts changing, and she starts becoming more possessed and evil, and they even have an exorcism scene.
Yeah.
And they kind of try to quote The Exorcist to try to get
Yeah.
the demons out.
That's all you're gonna do is just quote The Exorcist. Like, I don't know, whatever.
And so the priests don't necessarily remember them cussing a lot, but they drink a lot, they smoke a lot.
Yep.
They go to strip clubs. They're very irreverent priests.
Yeah, very much so. I love one of my favorite parts is when the priests are smoking cigarettes and they walk in, they're getting ready to check out, they're getting ready to rent a car.
Yeah.
And this guy behind him is like, "Sir, this is a non-smoking building. You can't smoke here. It's a law." And the priest just like headbutts the dude and just knocks him out. I just thought that was great.
That was funny.
It's like every smoker in the world wants to do that to someone when they say that. It's just
Exactly.
that dream sequence for a smoker,
And then they did that stupid casting thing where the hot chick's married to this almost middle-aged Corduroy.
Rob Corddry. Yeah,
Corddry.
from a children's hospital.
That's it. And
Yep.
he would never land her in real life. but
No.
But,
Well, he probably would because he's a celebrity, but
Right,
in the
yeah.
world where he's not a celebrity, he's just a
right.
regular schmo.
Oh, yeah, we had to
then
see his
no.
ass.
Yeah, you get to see
His
his
ass.
ass.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was a
unfortunately.
funny scene with the sister. in
Yeah,
the
that was
bathroom. That was a funny
uncomfortable
scene.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, uncomfortable comedy. Especially when Fernell walks in, he's like, "What's up? Oh, you're so-and-so." He gives her a hug. It's like, what? Just like nothing. Yeah, she's got this hippie sister who wants to come and cleanse the house
Yes.
for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene with the cleansing scene I thought was pretty funny, too. That was
I
it.
thought it was an earthquake.
Yeah.
They were outside. "Ah!"
And there's like nothing going on. there's some decent jokes, and I think it's really geared towards the stoner crowd. If you get if you're drunk or stoned and you watch it, you probably would get a couple more giggles.
Maybe that's why it got better.
I'd probably get some more giggles out of it. Yeah,
I'd had a few by the middle of the movie.
Yeah, but it was funny because they put elements in there, but you thought they were going to take further, and they never did.
Yeah.
The thing with the boxes was like the house is haunted.
Yeah.
They never did anything. It's like,
Right.
is the house haunted or what? They never really went anywhere with that. It was
Right.
like they would just turn around, and these boxes are stacked.
Right.
And they would.
Yeah, the box scene was funny. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. They just kind of gave it a look and went.
He just gets pissed off. Yeah.
But and I guess that's kind of what it was. Is they were throwing so much comedy out there to try to see what would stick.
What would stick? Yeah.
And so they would lose plot points because they were just throwing out a joke to see what would happen.
It was very much kitchen sink comedy, which a lot of movies are nowadays. It's just throw a bunch of stuff out there and see what sticks. And
yeah. Now I'll give it credit. I think it's funnier than like The Hangover stuff. And for those who love The Hangover, I'm not ripping The Hangover. I'm just saying I'd heard so much about it that it didn't live up to the hype for me.
I liked the first Hangover. Okay, it was not as good on repeat viewings. The second one was horrible. I'm not even going to bother to see the third one. So I've heard the third one is basically a straight up action movie with comedic elements.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And I'm like, I can't see Zach Galifianakis doing action.
Right.
It just doesn't sound right at all. Or Bradley Cooper, for that matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I had several laugh out loud moments in this movie, and the ending I saw come pretty quickly. I knew how that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, not at the beginning of the movie, but as the scene was starting, I knew where it was going to end, and sure enough, it ended that way.
So you do get a hell baby. You do get a hell baby. And it's pretty funny. That whole scene is
it is. It's like
it's gory and funny at the same time.
It's kind of like Chucky meets Stewie.
Yeah. And there's a lot of every joke that's in that scene you see coming, but and they also have dramatic elements, which is kind of weird. It's like things happen, you're like, oh, and then you're like, laughing at the same time. So it's a roller coaster ride.
It's worth a watch on a Sunday afternoon when it's raining outside. And there's
it's on video on demand right now, and it'll be on DVD soon. So if you got the video on demand, check it out. It's good for a laugh. Just get a little juiced up before you watch it, and you'd probably enjoy Hellboy. And that ends today's Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
We're ending it.
No?
We're not ending it.
We're not ending it?
We have to rank. We've been ranking. We have to keep ranking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Splinter number 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Or do we just take Splinter out of the equation?
No, I would say Splinter's still the number 1 creature feature we've reviewed so far. Yeah. I would say Hellboy second, or Hellbaby second, because I would watch it again. I'd probably watch it with my wife because she likes a lot of those comedians. So I would give it second spot.
I could see that being number 2, but I'm still going to go with, because I listened to our Chupacabra episode and it made me laugh. I'm going to go Chupacabra versus the Alamo number 2.
All right, 1 point for Eric Estrada.
Punch is on the return.
Punch is on the return, yeah.
3. Hellbaby, because it is a little bit clever. I mean, there is some elements of cleverness to it.
Yeah.
4.
Speaking of
did
you like the vomit scene?
Oh, God.
That was funny. Prime example of a joke getting taken too far, but it worked.
But you know what? I love the last line. I love the vomit scenes on Family Guy, so it made me laugh. That's probably when the movie turned on me, and I go, okay, I'm now in the mood for this.
I liked the last line for now. That was great.
Yeah, that vomit scene. No, I'm fine. So 4, I'm going to go Piranaconda.
Okay, Piranaconda, yeah.
5, Big Bad Wolf. 6,
Two-headed shark attack?
Sharknado,
okay.
7, Two-headed shit attack.
And then we had one more, didn't we? Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
So how are you ranking them?
I would go with your ranking. I would just switch Hellbaby and Chupacabra. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now that ends. Go ahead, say your line. I don't want to step over your line.
You're hosted too. We don't really have a host. So that ends today's Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
No, I want to say it.
Okay. Go.
That ends today's Esteban Carreras Creature
Feature. Oh, we're going to do it together.
Okay.
Do it again.
Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
Esteban Carreras Cigars. Super premium cigars at a great price. They're scary good.
All right. So that was a good one. Not a good. That was a good.
I probably would watch it again. I probably would watch it again, see if I missed something along the way.
Yeah. And you said Adrian Brody's not in that movie.
He was the priest, the head priest that sent them to America.
No, he wasn't.
That was him.
No, it wasn't.
He was an uncredited role, but dude, that was Adrian Brody. There's no doubt that was Adrian Brody.
Are you kidding me? I didn't recognize him as that guy. That was funny though. That scene was
was
pretty
funny.
funny.
Yeah, he
You're
was
looking,
the-
we need. You know what
he was
this
the
means?
cardinal that sent the
We need per diem. You're not looking at me, right? Like, no, we go down the hall.
Okay, yeah, there were elements of goodness.
There was elements of funniness to it. It's just not. It wasn't as funny as I hoped. It's one of those movies again where you got too many funny people in a movie, and there's not enough funny things. You know, it's like you can imagine that most of the funny stuff was left on the cutting room floor because it wasn't related to the story. Mm-hmm. So they probably had a blast making it. They had more fun making it than we had watching it. And a lot of movies with too many comedians tend to work that way.
I'm assigning us our next one, and we can tell people in advance on this one.
Okay.
Frankenfish.
Frankenfish.
All right, so what's going to happen in this third segment, Brandon? We have to tease it.
We got to tease it. Well, we are going to be talking to the gentleman who invented the Perfecto Cigar Holder. And
we have a surprise also.
What is the surprise?
You know what the surprise is.
I don't know the surprise. What is the
Yes, you do.
surprise? What's the surprise? What?
You know.
I do.
Stay tuned.
All right, everybody, we're back for the last third of the Project 805
By Ventura Cigars.
Andulio.
Andulio.
Andulio?
Andulio.
Andulio. Andulio.
It's the double L. It's the Y.
Dang
sound.
it! And I'm Mexican. This is horrible. Now I've been placing my Project 805 on the cool Perfecto Cigar Holder, and we just happen to have on the phone with us Gary Wills from Perfecto Cigar Holder. How you doing today, Gary?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing well. Thank you for the samples.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys like them.
Way
Very
cool.
Very cool.
So tell us a little bit about Perfecto Cigar Holders. How did this whole thing start up?
Well, my need was golf. I got tired of losing my cigars on the golf course because I'd set them on the fender and drive off with the golf cart and, realize 300 yards later I forgot my cigar. So I designed this deal, and what I wanted was just an ashtray on my golf cart. But, you can bring an ashtray on your cart, but that's not practical because it's going to slide around. So what I designed was a portable ashtray for a single cigar that you just snap onto the dash of the golf cart, and when you want to hit your shot, you just set your cigar down, go to hit your shot, and come back and pick up your cigar. Because we all know once we're moving on the cart, we're smoking our cigars again.
Exactly.
But this thing got so popular that people are buying it for their boats, they buy it for the beach, they buy it for their decks. I mean, it's just, all the places, when we're smoking a cigar that we'd like to have an ashtray, but even if you had a conventional ashtray, it's not practical because what you're on is moving or there's no place to really set it. And this fills the bill.
We live in Dallas, and any time except for the summer, it's the windiest city in the country. And a lot of times ashtrays blow over and topple over, and you lose your cigar and get ash everywhere. And this alleviates that problem.
Yeah, and I made the sides of the tray, high enough that it'll hold the ashes of any cigar. Like when you're riding in a cart, you got to take your hand and grab it and just throw it off, dump it over the side of it once in a while. Because, even if you're living in an area where there's not a lot of wind, the wind from driving in a cart can blow ashes around. But it keeps the mess down. It just keeps everything in check.
Yep, for sure. And a couple other uses I was thinking about too is if you got any guys that do a lot of woodwork in the garage, or you're out there in the garage smoking, it's great just clapping onto a table or whatever, and you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a little workshop, and I do a little woodworking, and I can't tell you how many ashtrays I broke that got knocked over and fell on the floor.
Yep.
And now that I use this, I just clamp it on the bench, I clamp it on the knob on one of the shelves. Wherever I'm at, I just snap it on something and set my cigar down.
So how many of these have you sold so far?
Well, we're new. We've sold probably around 3,000 of them so far. We're working on getting into the distribution markets. Part of what we've been working on is a package. Believe it or not, it was easier to get the tooling made to make the holder than it was to get a package made. that would seem simple, because it's something, when you buy this thing, you take it out of the box, throw the box away, and you take the product. But the package has been a challenge, but we've just now got it done. We'll have them in our hands here in the next week or two, and got that out of the way, thankfully.
Good deal. What's this retail for?
$19.95.
Boy, that's a deal. That's a really good deal. Because I hate...
Well, and the thing of it is, people look at it, if you just look at it, you think it's made out of some polycarbonate, plastic, ABS, whatever. It's not. We made it out of nylon, which nylon's hard to work with. But the difference is, these other polycarbonates melt at around 350 degrees.
Right.
And the hot end of the cigar is about 480 when it's, right after you puffed on it and stoked it up.
Right.
And nylon doesn't melt till right around 520 degrees. So the cigar is never going to burn it, melt it, or put a spot in it. It's never going to stink or anything like that from the heat from the cigar.
I was just going to ask you about that. If you had a couple of pre-versions that you were melting through them and stuff, and you switched to nylon because of that, or was this?
No, well, actually, we tested materials before we started shooting it. We knew a little bit ahead of time we needed to probably use nylon. So before we started injecting, molding these things, I did burn tests with different thermoplastics, smoking cigars, and setting them down. And the only thing that I could only ever get a spot on was nylon, and that was, I had to deliberately try to do it. And that was taking like a Churchill and stoking it up, putting it on one spot on a test piece of nylon, stoking it up again, and smoking the whole cigar down. And then I could only barely get a little discoloration in a piece of light-colored nylon. So it'll never break. I mean, hell, I've taken these things out and thrown them on the ground and drove over them with a golf cart. And I've got the tray to pop off once, but they can be put back on. You're going to have to call me to learn how to do it. They are pressed on with adhesives, so they're not going to come off. I mean, this thing is made in the USA.
Awesome.
It's style, it's quality, it's none of this communist China junk.
Right.
Fantastic, sir. We love that. We love that.
Everybody says made in China. Might as well call it what it is, communist China.
Exactly.
Well, the only way I could keep a cigar when I'm playing golf is I have to carry it with me at all times. And, I do that stupid thing where you lay it on the ground when you're in the tee box. You hit your shot, then you pick it up, and then you got grass on your cigar because of the moisture from the tip. And you have to wipe all the grass off. And this just totally takes that out of the equation.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's the chemicals on the grass, and you don't know who was standing right there or what animal just relieved themselves there right there before you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I mean,
when I golf, I'm not a guy that takes my cigar to the green, but a lot of guys like to have it on the green when they're looking at their putts.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I've seen at the club I belong to, there are guys that do this. So I've seen them take the sand and seed jug off the cart, and then they take that to the green with them with their Perfecto, and they snap the Perfecto in the opening in the sand and seed jug, so when they're ready to putt, they have it right out there on the green with
That's
them.
great.
I thought it was quite unique. I got to go get some
never
pictures
thought of
of that
that
someday.
Yeah, it is one of those products because you got the clamp. You can there's multiple places that you can clamp this thing and have it be useful.
Oh, it's amazing. In fact, we've got quite a Twitter following now, and people are tweeting us different places where they've snapped their Perfecto on. So this month we're going to start a little contest on Twitter. Send us in your most unique photograph of where you're using your Perfecto, and we're going to pick the best ones and send them a free one.
That's cool, yeah. Are you guys on Instagram too?
No, we're not on Instagram.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's another good one where they do a lot of photos there as well.
Oh, wait a minute. I was just informed by my associate that we are.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good deal.
They'll probably be Instagramming to Twitter to show you the pictures, I'm sure. 'Cause they're all
That's the
connected.
vehicle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody follow Perfecto Cigar Holder on Twitter. I followed, and you followed me back today.
Yeah, we put out some interesting stuff once in a while. Actually, it's all we try to put out is interesting stuff. We don't want to be obnoxious on there, so.
Right.
So have you guys been to any of the shows yet, as far as, going to cigar trade shows and showing the product off there?
Yeah, we were just at the ICPPR show in Las Vegas, had a booth out there, had a great time out there and great success out there, because, it's a completely new and unique, different idea. There's been cigar holders around for, years, 10, 20 years. In fact, when I did my patent research before we filed the patent, I did my research and I hired people to research it too, but, I found patents back into the 1800s.
Really?
When people are trying to patent things to hold their cigars when they're doing something else.
Wow.
So, that, and we've done some other trade shows, and it's been good.
Excellent, sir.
And we're also in 100 retail stores right now, and about to go online with some of the biggest online cigar retailers in the country. They're actually photographing the product right now and getting ready to put it out there, because it does work really nice. It's just a nice portable ashtray, and you can just snap on to whatever's handy or whatever you're doing.
Cool.
Are you guys going to price protect it for the B&Ms so they don't kill you on the online sales?
We're going to take care of the B&Ms. Because that's where it's at.
Right. Well, we appreciate that.
Hit up the golf courses, man. You should have them on every single golf course. Should have these things.
Well, actually, we launched this Perfecto in late January at the PGA Merchandise Show. And one thing I didn't realize is, because this is something I would never do, is there are some cigar smokers out there, so those that are listening, their etiquette isn't up to par. They will lay their cigars up along the dash by the windshields and burn the windshields, and they lay them on the seats and burn the seats and burn the fenders, and there's been pro shops that said, hey, I want 40 of these things, and I'm going to supply them to anybody that comes in smoking cigars and have them use them, because we get so many burns.
I can imagine.
From people with cigarettes and cigars that they're not careful about where they place a cigar.
Right.
I would venture to guess that they would run through 40 very quickly, because people would just throw them in their bags.
Well, what I told them is, I said, you supply them to your cigar smoking players. I said, you better have them in your pro shop, because people are going to want to buy them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your success so far, and hope it continues. I know it will.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm glad you guys like it. It's bigger than any cigar holder out there. Most of these cigar holders are small, but this is big, and what we say is size matters. At least that's what my wife tells me all the time. And because this thing's 80 ring gauges wide, it'll hold a big cigar.
Yep.
Well, most of them won't do that.
I have a friend of mine that has a couple to go on the fender of his car or whatever, and he runs over those things and loses them every single day. So this is something.
Your Perfecto will be glad to sell you more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is something I would think you would, because of the size of it, you would think not to miss it. You would see it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing about it is, in a golf cart, most of the other products on the market are made to snap onto the pillar that holds the roof up.
Yep.
And that's not some place you normally go to when you're cleaning out the cart. But you do go into the dash area and get your car keys, your cell phone, and whatever else you had in there. And this thing is right on the dash of the golf cart, and it's right in front of your nose, and you're not going to forget it.
No.
It's so you just take it. And like my golf bag, when I take it off, I just snap it around the one of the shafts of my clubs, or snap it around the strap or wherever. It just hangs on my bag till the next time I'm ready to go out.
That's great. I'm going to attach it to my golf bag tonight.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That's going right in there. So I did want to let everybody know, all of our listeners, that he did send us a couple of extra samples. So we got a couple for us to try out, but we're also going to give you the option to try this out. We're going to do a raffle for the last two samples that we have.
Right.
Tell them about the raffle, Randy.
If we are on Podomatic, Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube, and Twitter, and Facebook.
Correct.
If you comment and like on any of those forums, your name will go into the raffle, and you will be eligible for one of these Perfecto cigar holders. And we're going to let this go till what, 4 episodes?
Yeah, we'll do 4 episodes.
There'll be 4 episodes to get into the raffle. Only one entry per person. and we will announce the winner 5 episodes from now.
And we'll just keep mentioning it every episode so you can be reminded. And I'm going to hit up the forums as well and let people know in the forums so they can go over there and like as well. And so you can get one of these nifty Perfecto cigar holders for yourself. Or you could also go talk to Gary over here at perfectocigarholder.com and purchase one if you don't want to wait.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for being on the show, Gary.
That's right. Just go to our website, and our phone number's on there. Give me a call if you want to talk about it or learn more about it. I'll be happy to tell you about it.
So you can get to perfectocigarholder.com. You're also on Twitter. You're also on Instagram. I would assume it's all under the same name, hashtag Perfecto Cigar Holder, at Perfecto Cigar Holder. Do you guys have a YouTube site or anything like that?
Yeah, we got a YouTube channel. We got some videos out there. We're going to be putting more up soon. We're getting ready to shoot some more. It just shows the versatility of how it can be used. One of the things is when I practice golf, I like to take a puff of a cigar and then hit a shot. The club I belong to doesn't have plug stands that you can clip anything onto. So there's a video on our website. I just tipped my driver upside down, snapped my Perfecto on the top of it, set it in there, hit my shots.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks for taking some time to talk to us here, Gary. And I want to thank you for the samples again. And everybody check out Gary Wills over at perfectocigarholder.com. Check out this fantastic product. It is definitely unique. And my cigar's sitting in it now, and it's nice and happy.
It is.
Yep.
All right. I appreciate it, you guys, and good luck to you and long ashes.
Appreciate it, Gary. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
All right. So there was Gary Wills from Perfecto Cigar Holder.
Very good guest, and it's a very good product.
Cool product. So what do you think of the Project 805 now?
I wouldn't say complex. The people that write stuff, the romance for these things say things like that. I don't think it's complex. It hasn't changed much, but it tastes very good. This is a very tasty cigar. I'm getting a little cedar. I'm saying it when I say it doesn't change. It's not changing like from strength level. It's just changing some flavors. I'm getting some cedar now instead of that citrus.
Yep, I was going to say it's getting woodsy on me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily cedar, but it is wood of some sort. And it's yummy. It's a lot milder than I was expecting though. With the allure in it, I thought it was going to have a little more kick, but very mild. So if you want, it's a good morning cigar.
Yep.
Probably go really well with some nice coffee, or if you're a tea person, I think this would pair nicely with a tea.
That'd be a nice tea.
A nice English tea.
We paired it with that Tango Ridge Canadian whiskey, which is very mild and smooth, and it went very well with this cigar. I will smoke this again. This is a no-brainer. I will smoke this again.
Yeah.
Maybe not after a meal. This might be a before-meal smoke. But it's
definitely a before-meal smoke.
Well, we have shout-outs.
Burns like a champ, though, man.
It does.
Yeah.
It corrected itself. It's still a little jagged, but it's nothing. It's not intrusive by any means.
No, and that could be how we're smoking it too, because we're talking and stopping and
I've had to
starting.
relight it once because of the.
Yeah, I had to relight it as well, and
But that's because of the Ask My Creature feature that always burns out our cigars.
Yappy.
Yep.
But we talk, even with that, with the relight, still very tasty. So we do have some shout-outs, so let's go over the shout-outs.
Obviously, Kirk at Poolside Cigar Reviews, Jeff Hirschauer, who sent us some cigars. We'll be talking about it later in the future. And on Facebook, Holly Zimmerman, and I owe Holly an apology. Because in an episode, I mentioned that I don't know if we have any female listeners, and Holly has been there from the get-go and always likes us, so I apologize for leaving you out of that episode, Holly. Then on Twitter, we got the Robusto Cigar Babe.
Okay.
Following me personally and the store.
Excellent.
Cigars Daily. Apparently it's a daily cigar review show. Vintage Chic Cigar. The Cigar Association. And, of course, Gary with Perfecto Cigar Holder.
Excellent.
You have some?
I do have some. We have Ricky Paniagua, as always. He's on the Facebook, and he sent us those Viaje double-edged swords, which we're going to review in a mini-sode here. We have some new followers as well. I didn't mention last time, but Miguel Shodell, I think. He's actually he's a blender for Tarano.
Oh, cool.
So he's following us now. We talked to him, and that's a cool thing.
Yep.
Let me get to, where's the me?
Oh, an Old Drum 1981 on YouTube.
Yep. He's a fan of the show.
He seems to be digging us.
I have some new followers here too. Dion Giolito is now following me on the Captain Funky Pants for Lucione. Yeah. Coots LLC. So shout out to him. Matt Ross. Broadway Cigars. Sorry. Scottish Ninjas. 1502 Cigars. Alec Bradley Cigars followed me now, but
oh really?
Yeah, like they didn't follow me before. Really, Alec Bradley come late to the party.
They've followed me for a while, I think.
Oh, well, pardon me.
That's because I'm cool.
Andrea Zimbazi, Jab, Stick Stickler, which I like that name.
Yeah, that's actually clever.
Lisa Diaz, and that's about it for this week.
Oh, and Big Brown Jim.
Yeah, Big Brown Jim. At Big Brown Jim at Twitter. Someone's going to steal that now.
No, we need to get one now. Well, this doesn't air live, so I'm going to go home and get Big Brown Jim and start making funny comments from him.
Great. So that gets us to the end of our episode today. It's been a whirlwind episode.
It is. So just to remind, any likes? Oh, and it has to be a like and a comment in order to get
and comment
into the
on
raffle.
YouTube, on Podomatic, on Spreaker, or
iTunes.
Facebook, or iTunes, or on Twitter as well. Yeah.
Yep. And we will. That will enter you into the drawing. Plus, you will get a shout out.
So I guess on the Twitter thing, it would be a follow and a comment.
Follow and a comment. Yeah. Or a retweet.
Retweet. Yeah. We'll tweet something. Saying about this, and then if you retweet that and follow us, then you get an entry.
Yep.
And then, of course, you have to make sure that you contact us if you get picked, because we need to still get your information so we can send it to you. Yeah,
exactly.
There has to be some level of follow-up on your side if you win.
So it'll be starting this episode, 32, 33, 34, 35. So episode 36 is when we will announce the winner.
Excelente.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to finishing this bad boy.
Yep, I am too. Unfortunately, we still got a little bit to go, but we're going to go ahead and cut the episode because we're at an hour, and we know that's kind of the cutoff for us. So.
And it was a whirlwind episode.
It was a whirlwind episode. We had Hell Baby, we had full frontal nudity, we had Jennifer Aniston covered in maple syrup, we had Gary Wills. Yeah, it was all over the place. So
it was fun.
As always, thank you for listening, and check us out at all those locations where we're located, on iTunes, Podomatic, Spreaker, Twitter,
iTunes,
YouTube, yeah, wherever. And as always, it's been great smoking with you.